you're live.
Ready. See what she looking like on there. Look good, clear. We live? All right. My chat popped out. I like to see when people talking, what they're saying, what's on their mind. That'll give me 1 second then, black folk. Shit, I need something going on. You get that back in for me? Damn, man. They get people tired to come back here. Assalamu alaikum. Say it one more time. Assalamu alaikum. Let me get a hit in my brew, something like that in my throat already. This is special brew I make up.
Just do it this way.
For myself. All right, that's good. Thank you, appreciate it. Been a minute since I've been on, but we had some technical difficulties. Some of the equipment went out, so we had to find a way to get some more, and a couple people helped out. Appreciate Miss Queen, and we have a setup. We have cameras and lighting and all of these type of things, and we don't just go by the phone like most people. That's all they got to do. But to be professional, as much as we can, like you see the boards and all this type of stuff to set up, it take finances. Sometimes that money don't be there. You have to do other things with your money and stuff like that. And sometimes y'all need a break anyway, so you can see the world evolving in front of your face. Because a lot of times you have a lot of knowledge that's being presented to you. Sometimes that knowledge had to catch up with you as you're going through the course of life. But PopKeys by Sir Farad Muhammad is live and well. You have to worry about that part. I don't remember when I've been sick and all that other type of stuff. So open up in prayer. Divine greeting, words of peace. Assalamu alaikum. In the most holy name of Almighty God Allah, who came to us in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, the great Mahdi, who was to come and has come to restore we who are lost from our own kingdom of Islam and destroy those who have destroyed us. Thou our God, O Allah, we are thy people. Deliver us from our murders and be serving the Bailey all the days of our lives. And we would teach our children to submit to thee, to that in equal love and mercy for thou. And thanks to you, O Allah, for making manifest to us our enemy, the devil. And help us, O Allah, to live the life, die the death of a Muslim. I bear when there's no God but thee. I bear witness the most honorable and humble Elijah Muhammad is your last and greatest messenger. Thank you, Allah, for this day. Thank you for this gift of life. I pray, Allah, you move the heart of the devil from thee, as well as the black nation. This takeover time. Assalamu alaikum, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. That's the time we in now, brothers and sisters. We got to move from the bottom to the top. And I see us as a people. Sometimes we recognize our gifts. Sometimes we recognize our power. But in the same statement, you give it away when you speak on this Caucasian, this white man, how he's getting ready to take over the world, bringing a new world order. Well, hell, he's already in order. This is already his. So why speak on your gifts and then give them right back to the devil and you don't see yourself in power? I'm going to give you a little piece tonight on this white man. I call it like I see it. He's disrupting all across the planet. He's disrupting your homes, whether you know it or not. But we come from that holy tribe of Shabazz over 66 trillion years ago and settled on the best part of the planet. And it takes study. I don't just jump on here and throw out a bunch of information. I try to put it in a mathematical way so you can understand it and relate to it. Because I think we have forgotten, or at least we don't know, who we are. We don't understand the type of people our ancestors are, and you should be, and how the world was before the making of the Caucasian. Because we've been raised by murderers and thieves and robbers and liars since we've been here. And you can see it just as plain today in our behavior, the way we move on the planet in America. We want freedom, but we don't want boundaries. We're doing everything under the sun, not of good. We're taking falsehood and accepting it for the truth. We're doing all these things. Some of us are doing it out of ignorance. Some of us doing knowingly because they can live a certain type of life in America and on this planet because we become so materialistic beings. And we cover up our gifts. We have so many abilities in the Black nation, so much mind power, but we don't have the knowledge of thought. Is the key. Thought moves at 24 billion miles per second, but we don't know how to tap in to our gifts. And a lot of you all that's in this audience tonight have a lot of gifts, men and women. Some of you have the ability to tune in, to listen to thoughts. Some of you have the ability of telepathy, telekinesis. Some of you had the vision to see your ancestors. Some of you had the ability over plants. Some of you had the ability in your hands to bring in healing. Some of you had the ability to interpret dreams. Some of you had the ability to project thoughts and receive thoughts. These are our gifts. You have intuition, but we give it right back. We cover up our righteousness with the thoughts of the beast. And the reason they're not being open to us because we're eating the wrong foods, we think of the wrong thoughts. People that have the gifts are afraid to speak on them because we look at them as something wrong with them or they crazy. We have the ability to see entities, and some of you all call ghosts, but they entities travel between the different realms and dimensions. We have so many beautiful gifts within the original man and woman that we tend to hide them out of fear. Some of us know how to make herbs to bring about healing. I have experienced a lot of these things through my travel in life. Our elders, especially our elderly women, a lot of them are no longer here. And they try to pass them gifts down to their children and to their daughters. But they didn't understand what was being passed down. A lot of you have gifts today, and you don't have anyone to talk to get understanding on. You understand? Because they no longer in the community the way I came up. You had the Miss Janie, the Big Mamas, and the Miss Whites, and all these, Miss Nicholas, and all these type of people that was right there next door to you. They knew all of these secrets of nature that you can, or they can see you and pull you to the side and give you understanding. Because we God's people from the holy tribe of Shabazz, direct descendants of the Creator Himself. We're the people that came into the universe and manifest ourselves into human form. But it's mind over matter. Allah created the brain to encompass the sphere of His mind. See, we more than just matter. You all mourn and cry when death. When you use the word death, you lack understanding. We get this from the white man, but we really don't die. If you had the knowledge of self, you have a whole different understanding on life in this world. I got enough knowledge of self to understand some things I won't speak on to you because I don't want to lose you in a certain way. But I know exactly who I am and the people around me. I know more about my family than my family know about themselves. So they all are seed from Basil Farad Muhammad. And my bloodline runs directly back to the Creator Himself. You understand? I've always told my children that they're not ordinary people, even though you might want to be ordinary and act niggly and all these old type of things, but you're not. That's why you struggle in life, because you want to accept your own and be yourself. That's the key for the black nation right now. That's why family is so important, people. Say it again. Family and family relations are so important in this day and time because that's the key to overcoming. We don't need to worry about what the white man is doing. I'm going to break some of that down. He through. It's our rise from the bottom to the top. But the family is key. The one that's laying next to you, do you really know him? On both ends, male and female. Do you really know your children? Do you really know their gifts? Do you really pay attention to their imagination and to their creativity? You understand what I'm saying? We tend to cut their gifts off through our ignorance. Mothers be straining with their children because they don't really know how to really teach them in the right way. You don't know how to use the right tone, mothers, with your boys. When you talk to them, you have a voice of pleading instead of commanding. You don't see children today outside every now and then. So what they doing? They inside playing with a device or watching the TV or looking in their phones, being programmed to be inactive, non-creative. So they're teaching them how to use their imagination to be creative. Some of them have imaginary friends you dismiss. And all these things that we lack an understanding on. We lack understanding on death. We don't die. You understand? What I'm saying, under Elijah Muhammad say, the spirit is the breath of life. Energy can't die. The mind can't die. The body can deteriorate just like the earth has to be renewed or the universe has to be renewed when it starts to disintegrate and break down. But that one mind in the universe or that being that was your mother or your father or your child still exists, just in a different realm, a different vibration. Well, we sit up and we cry and mourn of that loss, but no, that's your gift. You know, I was right there when my mother died, right by her side, nursed her all the way. But I did not grieve over my mother because she was my gift. While I was alive as a child growing up to my manhood and in my manhood, I had that gift and understanding of what a mother is. Had the tough love too. You understand? And that I came back from Minnesota, but I stayed in the Bay Area in Oakland about over a month or so and came back sitting on my bed. Then I heard her voice. See, we can hear our voices, how people talk to us. And she told me, she said, Junior, that's what she called me. I'm all right. I looked around and just like that. So she let me know she good. So I didn't sit back and grieve over the loss of my mother like that because I know she was good, in a good place. Same thing with my big sister, Andrea. And I was in jail in Madison County, Illinois, fighting the case for standing up for freedom, justice, and equality. And by the way, I'm writing a book. Even before I came into Islam, I was standing up on a righteous basis. I didn't have to go into Islam to be righteous or a freedom fighter. But they had locked us up because we stood up against the government and discrimination and their oppression. And they had me locked up in the upper left. And they had the outside wall propped up with some 2x4 because they built another jail, county jail. And my sister had died, and she was epileptic, and she was in the hospital in Racine, Wisconsin, because we had to move out the town we was in. It's too dangerous. But she had came to me that night in my dream, and I seen how she had passed. Apparently, that's what they say. She got up that night and went took a bath in the hospital, and she was laying in a tub of water. But they said she had water in the lung, but I don't know exactly what happened. But anyway, she came to me in a vision, and she had a white dress on. She liked the red lipstick, had a red rose over her heart, and dressed in white hair was did up. But she called me, she touched me and said, Junior, I'm all right, because she had them pretty hands and pretty fingernails and stuff like that. So when they called me out the next day, to bring me downstairs and put me on the phone with my mother, I already knew what had happened. Of course, I couldn't go to the services. They got me locked down. But I knew I couldn't go, but I didn't grieve because she came to me and let me know I'm good. You understand what I'm saying? I'm in a good place. And so we have these type of premonitions and things come to you, and that's why we need to start paying more attention to our gifts and our intuition and practice it and make it grow You understand what I'm saying? Instead of denying your abilities, get in your best mindset, get in your righteousness. The earth belongs to the righteous. That's why it's getting ready to be flipped over. And a whole new world order is coming, black man, black woman. But it ain't the one that y'all thinking about, what the white man is planning as well. But Allah, God is the best of planners. You understand? I want to throw that out there a little bit before I go into my subject tonight. Tonight is a very important night tonight. Monday, that's why I like to have my classes on Monday, because Monday night is FOI night all throughout the nation. They're having a very, very, very important men's only meeting tonight in Chicago, Illinois. At Mas Mariam, the minister will be there tonight. And this all come about through Golden Child and the unity movement, where they've been going into the community and into the hoods, bringing in peace treaties. The people have been warm with one another right across the street, around the corner, 10, 15, 20 years, murdering one another left and right. But the things are coming down now. Brothers are meeting and talking to one another. It used to be enemies for decades. Various gang organizations signed the peace treaty, dropping the flag. So now they meeting tonight. You understand? The men's only meeting. You used to have men's only meeting at your Black Wilson Bakery. You're one of the first men to call that type of meeting. But it's so important for to have a men's only meeting, because then you can just be straight up men in the meetings. You can be strong, you can be militant, you can talk the way you want, you can express your feelings, you understand, without being judged. Because men don't judge one another, brother. If you want to drop some tears, fine. We ain't judging you as being weak, because we understand one another. You understand? Well, we can develop a strong protocol on how we want to move forward, protect our community, our families, our children, our girls, our wives, build a strong community. You understand? Where we can sit down and science together. You know what I'm saying? Develop a strategy on how we want to move forward in this day and time, because it's takeover time. How we want to execute the plan. How we want to support one another economically. You understand? Or we can develop products and merchandise where we support it. How we can go in and start setting up shops, moving out the Pakistanians, moving out the Palestinians and the Arabs, and the Indians and the Koreans and the Chinese. You understand? Start taking our community back. How we can put up economic patches where we can start buying up the real estate in our community. How we can go out and start cleaning up the streets, getting the garbage off the streets. You understand what I'm saying? So to finding a way to move them drugs up out of our community and have a clear understanding. You understand? If we have a conflict, how we can settle that conflict, or we can call in and have conflict resolutions on how to move forward in 2025 for the black man in America. And it's been said that black men don't support the black woman. They use Kamala Harris as an example. But brothers and sisters, I have no problem supporting the black woman if she ran for president, because when Shirley Chisholm ran, black men supported her. Barbara Jordan, out of Congress lady out of Texas, but they spoke to the needs and issues of the black man and the black people. You understand what I'm saying? But nobody gonna support Kamala Harris because we knew her record from the Bay Area. Her thing was to lock up black men so she can get in the political arena. And then we ain't gonna support you like that anyway. You laying in bed every night with a white man. You never spoke to the needs at all. She never spoke to the issues for the black man, or really for the black community. So we ain't no damn, it ain't got nothing to do with her being a woman. She just never spoke to the needs of the black man in America. And then, like I say, you sleep going there at night, you going to bed with the Jew boy. Understand what I'm saying? We ain't supporting that. Y'all want to use that. No. I remember when the black man supported Shirley Chisholm when she ran for president of America. I remember when Barbara Jordan, look it up. Y'all might be too young to know. Black men support her wholeheartedly. We ain't never had the issue when we got a black woman that we know that's down with us. You understand? Just that simple. Black man, black woman. But let me move right along. This is what's going down in America. You understand? Y'all say black men voted for Trump. Some did. But you don't understand the law's plan. Allah is the greatest of planners. Just that simple. Now, this is where America is at right now. See, one thing about it, y'all don't know how to see Allah or God or Jehovah, Yahweh, whatever name you want to call it, in the mix. You understand? But I got sight. Listen, white America celebrated November 24, 2024. Thought they had elected their savior. 21% of the sons of the slaves voted for Trump. God was orchestrating a great divine judgment using the very people they oppressed. Look at the Trump policy. This is what you got to look at now. Look at what the shape of America is, black man, black woman. You understand? Trump policies are tearing apart white middle-class families with its tariffs and crushing white suburban families who thought they were safe. Oh, they celebrated. Hoorah, they jumping down, shooting off fireworks, shooting their guns in the air. Our Savior has arrived. You understand? Celebrating white supremacy, trying to make America great again, to put the black man, woman, the child back up under their foot. But this is what happened. White middle-class families with his tariffs are crushing white suburban families who thought they were safe, dismantling of federal agencies. Listen, eliminating jobs that white college graduates depended on. Did they not? Look at all the federal jobs that's gone now. Black folks. They say a lot of black women got hit, but let's go with the territory when you got to go to the master. You dig for a job. Tariffs are destroying businesses, small businesses, farms. His immigration policies have created labor shortages, have they not? Ain't nobody out there picking their fruit, getting their strawberries, getting that corn out the field. You understand what I'm saying? White farmers with their sundown towns and all these things with their little red faces, talking that nigger talk. Understand? Because they had their savior, Mr. Trump, come in, we're going to uplift them, put them in a better position. You understand? They didn't know what they use it, they racism. They say they own bias to destroy them. You understand? They got played like a fiddle on the 4th of July. Let me continue on though. They got labor shortages right now. They got oranges and stuff still sitting on the tree, dried up. You understand? Because they done rounded up those that were willing to go out there and pick that fruit in the field. I don't know why in the hell they thought we were going to be out there in that damn field. Our cotton picking days are over with, white boy. We ain't going back to the fields unless it's our own damn fields. I go out there and pick all the damn grapes and cotton and oranges and strawberries with mine. Well, we can pick and produce and send it to the inner cities of America to serve ourselves. But we ain't getting out there for that chump change. Anyway, listen, his policies have created labor shortages for white-owned farms. Everything they built is crumbling. Is it not? Pay attention to what's going on. This is God's judgment using the wicked. Say it again, using the wicked to punish the wicked. All praise due to Allah. They have signed their own death warrant. Y'all need to pay attention to what's going on. All this other stuff, this distraction that they got going on, forget about that. Justice is being served. It said, up, you mighty nation, accomplish what you will. It's takeover time, black man, black woman. You understand? Look, y'all worrying about the fall of America. It ain't got nothing to do with us. If we separate, start growing our own food, creating our own economic base, using them gifts I told you you had earlier when I opened up, tap into your divinity, tap into your spirituality, you understand, start tuning in, getting on the righteous level, practicing how to eat and live, each one teach one, dressing up, coming down amongst one another, quit hating your brother, clean yourself up, cover yourself back up, you understand? See your brother, see your sister, greet them, provide security and protection for one another. The white boy in trouble. Trump is being used by God and those global financiers to destroy America. These global financiers don't have no loyalty to no nation because they control the financial system. They don't care if BRICS come in and the dollar is declining. You understand? They good because they control the system. You understand? They don't care nothing about the Chinese becoming number one because America is through. Look at Trump. He way over there threatening Nigerians, Tabubi or whatever his name was. He just had that CIA over there meeting with them about almost a year ago. He was threatening Nigeria and the brothers in the Sahara region. You understand? And they have always used the Christian crusade to attack the Muslims, talking about they want to defend the Christians. Trump ain't worried about the Christians. It's all a ploy. It's just a distraction. You understand? Because strategically, it's not feasible to go into Nigeria. You think they going off in them jungles? Them deep jungles? Messing around with Boko Haram? Hell no. Now, how you going to attack the Nigerians, the country, because they're not attacking Boko Haram? Mathematically, it don't make sense. Now, you're going to attack the government, but shouldn't you be trying to go after Boko Haram? You ain't going off in them damn jungles. They know it like the back of their head. You understand? And they don't care nothing about them damn Christians. But strategically, it ain't feasible. But what it's doing is creating distrust all over the world. Don't trust the American white man anymore. Maybe we should start looking for sovereignty on our own. Quit being up under the hand of the Caucasian. You understand? We need to quit kissing their butt. The Nigerian government and all those black elites. Because Nigeria don't even manufacture their own weapons or ammunition. They got to go to America. They got shell all over there. And the way Boko Haram is right. Get the West out. You dig what I'm saying? I'm not saying they're right 100%. You understand? But they control the economy. They stopped giving those, forgot the word, but where they can get their oil cheap. And they all produce it, but all they do is pull it out the ground and send it out. They don't manufacture and produce their own oil. Their crude oil is shipped out automatically. They stopped giving subsidies to the Nigerian people. You understand? Prices went up. You understand? But who was it benefiting? It's benefiting the creditors that the Nigerian government owes, but not the people. They want sovereignty now. You understand? They want their own manufacturing production, just like we want in America. But we're a little bit more smarter, I hope. You understand? Because the road they own is leading them off a damn cliff. But the young people want a complete change, just like we should want in America. White America is through, black people. Look at the handwriting on the wall. Trump is destroying America, and a lot of it is really by design. Then look at the evil, corrupt government. These Epstein files, if they ain't clean them up, when they let them go, they probably done took a lot out. But look what Epstein's brother said. He said Trump was over there slopping on Bubba. And you know, Bubba, big old white boy or something like that. But I was listening to a very reputable white man that was saying that Bubba was a horse. I ain't saying it was on YouTube. Understand? But look at how these sick, wicked people, man, that y'all been voting for, put in office. They're talking about Biden and release the Epstein file because they had a lot of them so-called Democrats right there. Hillary and Billy and all the rest. So-called King Andrew, they done set him down. He ain't no more a prince. You understand what I'm saying? Being controlled and manipulated by these pedophilia. They don't even really make a big uproar about sex trafficking in America. Child pedophilia and all these type of things. It ain't before Congress. Think about these things that these house niggas is telling us to go vote for. No, we need to step it up amongst ourselves now. We need to get our families together. We need to learn how to forgive one another, atone with one another, learn how to communicate with one another. Instead of sitting up looking at one another like you in prison somewhere, wait for a brother to mess up, see if they're going to disrespect. You got families that do that. I got a couple of my sons be doing that old dumb damn stuff. Y'all in the damn house of America? Shit, you would benefit if you know how to communicate with one another and share your resources. Because when I growed up, if I didn't have it, my brother had it, hell, we both had it. You understand? Use your creativity so we can grow and develop and get about this condition. And then on top of that, we got to develop our own educational system. Where do these textbooks come from? Who produced them and sent them into the public school system of America? That lady, that Maxwell lady, her father, that Wood Epstein is the one that manufactured and produced all these curriculum books that they send into the American school system. Look at the game that's being played on the mind. You can tell the difference because none of my children came up under that curriculum. We come up under the curriculum of the most honorable, humble Elijah Muhammad. You understand what I'm saying? That's the way they was taught. Look at the difference of the minds. Understand? Striving for freedom, justice, and equality. Want a complete damn takeover. That's exactly what I want. And I know exactly how to get the job done. It just takes resources. I just don't have the resources to make the moves I need to make because I know what to do. Straight up. A lot of them trained me up. They took me through all these trials, these tribulations, and I done passed them all. I ain't never been over. I ain't never sold out. I ain't never punked out. I went in all that fire, head up, stomach in, chest out, still walking strong, standing tall. Shit. I see all the tricks and know the tricks. If you study Elijah Muhammad's books, he tell you what to say and what they gonna say to you, how they gonna move on you, what you need to say. He talk about the reverends and the preachers now that's coming out attacking Allah, God, and Islam right out, calling them the devil and stuff. But he says in the message to the black man, the reverends gonna be the first one to be destroyed. You understand? They setting themselves up for total destruction. So I don't pay no attention to them. Me and Clean was talking. That's when you know something is working right. When they start talking about you, that means you doing what's right. They see the end coming. You dig? You know, let me just give you this little bit about us, though, and how the world was before we brought the devil on the planet. It said we were born into a world of love and peace, where sin, murder, violence, lying, hatred, stealing, fornication, war, mayhem was completely unknown to the whole world. As a matter of fact, the whole universe didn't know anything about this stuff. We didn't know nothing about this type of behavior because we were created righteous and lived in a righteous world. It said the evil one came, talking about the white man. This was Yakub brought on the planet and brought for the very first time these things to the earth: death, mayhem, and totally destroyed our peace. The guilty blue eyes. I'm trying to tell you how we live. Our word was our bond. We didn't know what it was to even tell a damn lie. You understand? Lesson on. Bending over. Lesson on. Like Miss Leslie Graham, the cross-dresser in the Senate. I'm calling it out like I see it. You understand? Trying to tell you to go to war. And he's sashaying across the damn Washington Boulevard, Pennsylvania Boulevard. You understand? Switching. It has been determined that the reason people lived in love and peace and knew nothing else but love and peace was because we had never been exposed to evil and ignorance. There never was a time when we didn't know. We had never been exposed to this type of behavior. Why do you think it was so easy when we seen this strange man pull up on the shores? But we still accepted him. Taught him how to grow his food, gave him shelter, let him come in amongst the villages and stuff like that. Because we didn't know nothing about this trick knowledge and this establishment. You understand what I'm saying? We were just people that's kind, loving, caring people. Word was bond, we worked with one another. We protected one another. Everybody had their place in society. You understand? We knew how to bring our children into their womanhood, to their manhood. You understand what I'm saying? We taught them about the spirits and how to deal with nature. They taught the knowledge of self. We had a protocol on how to live. We didn't know nothing about this type of individual coming into our lives. But this is what went on. Listen. It was said that the leaders were, it was said to the people that the leaders were surely afraid of evil and would do anything and everything to make sure that evil never reared its head, its ugly head on earth. It was said that the gods used their power to suppress the emergence of evil because they were afraid of the power. Because if given a chance, evil could overcome good. And in that case, evil is the true nature of God. This is what was said amongst the people. That's why Yakub was only able to get the, 66,000 or 60,000 because the rest wasn't going for it. But the wise one and the elders knew before Yakub was born, before this white man was made. He wasn't created. We're the created beings. He was made for the life journey of the black man and woman. You understand what I'm saying? See, our history is different from the Caucasian. He deals with the past, but our history represents the future. Because our scientists are able to look down the wheel of time and tell the history of what's coming. And so they knew, so he was allowed. We're in a test, black man, black woman, right now, to see which side we gonna come down on. Which one prevail? God or the devil? Will evil overcome good? You can answer that yourself. If you live right, listen. It says, therefore, the thought of evil were formulated in the minds of man. Let me back up. That if the gods knew that not to be the case, then why will they not let evil come into the world, whole world, so that good can prove itself? That's what's been allowed, to let the evil come into the world. That's why we was the created nation itself, the holy tribe of Shabbat, was allowed to be kidnapped and brought into the shores and hills and hills and wilderness of North America and taught by the dirty evil one, the murderer and the robber and the sinner, that guilty blue-eyed and put up under his dictate. You understand? Put under slavery for damn near 400 years in America. Because we are the creators, direct descendants of the creator himself. For 66 trillion years, we knew nothing of this type of world. So the test amongst the gods is, take them. Put them to the test. Now we're going to show you. We're going to prove to the whole damn world that these people that the whole world despise and look up to, look down on, and despise and talk about, call us niggas and everything else, monkeys and apes. You understand? That they're going to overcome all these afflictions. Every last one of them prove who the true and living God is on this planet. We took away their name, their culture. And they can't tell you what land they come from. All we know the motherland. Can't tell you what tribe they come from. They still go by the devil's name. Call themselves Billy Bob and John, Mr. Culpepper, Mr. Tree, and Whitworth, and any other damn name. Don't even know their names. Can't even speak the language. They got the children running around here murdering and maiming one another. We done slid the drugs in on them. You understand? We done attacked the youth. Because we know if we can get to the youth, we can change the whole damn people. If you get to the youth, you send them drugs in on them. You put all this crap in the weed, the liquor, the food. We done changed the vibration in the communities, amongst the people, amongst the youth. We brought in the music, we changed the vibration on the music. Because when I come up, music was uplifting, was revolutionary. They changed it, put the deaf culture in the music. They got the brother with the black lips, smoking all that bad weed, putting all that poison in them, because they fear the youth. You understand? Because they look at our youth and they study them, even before they're born, they're under attack. Why you think there's so many miscarriages, premature babies being born, and women dying in the hospitals of America now? It's simple to have a damn baby, to be honest about it. You say that about shit because I brought two out at the house. Shit, I know what I'm talking about. You understand? Our women ain't got no business dying like that in the hospital. They sliding them damn shots on them. Getting all that damn strong iron pill. Don't need all that bullshit. Why they can't even have a bowel movement once they take all that crap. Understand? Because they attacking us in the womb. They got all the abortion clinics. You can damn near walk to abortion clinic today. Understand? Because they hunting that male child. You dig? They fear the black male child because they watch it and they study it in schools and stuff like that. They look for that fearless one. You understand? Because our young black men don't fear. Until they put that fear in them, they try to destroy them. You understand? I done had that problem with my son. But let me go on with this here. Therefore, the thoughts of evil were formulated in the minds of man for the very first time, being certain that evil can overcome goodness with evil and show the whole universe that goodness, love, and peace are weak in the face of evil, sin, evil, and turmoil. This is what we going through, black folks, right now. This is the test that we facing. Can you pass the test? Black man, black woman is in this audience tonight. Do you want to pass the test? They got the mind fixing of the black man. They got the psychic engineering. That's the precise alteration of the chemical activity of the brain, the chemistry of thought, now understood could be manipulated with the drugs. They done studied on how to manipulate the mind and fix the mind of the black man. That's why we acting the way we acting, black folks. But you lack understanding to know what type of beast we dealing with. Understand? But all we got to do is wake up to his moves and circumvent them, go around them. You understand? But no, we waiting on 4 more years to vote in another devil, clean up our diet, set up certain protocols and institutions in our community to go get our youth. Take that Y-head out of our alphabet. Young gods. That's why the meeting tonight in Chicago that's going on right now is so important. Probably most of y'all don't even know about that. But it's taking place right now so we can effect a complete change from this devil. He through. He getting ready to die, his women and his children. 99% of them gonna die. It'd be a little percentage of them left. And I know it's hard because a lot of you, some of you got white mothers and white fathers and stuff like that. Some of them will make it through. But they can't be righteous by nature, only through religion. Think about that. You understand what I'm saying? It's our time, black man, black woman. PopKeys coming at you strong tonight. Y'all could hit that cash app to help a brother out, to get some of this equipment and keep things going and stuff like that. When stuff break down, because, even my daughter, she help facilitate and stuff, but she be working through the day and stuff. She be tired. She got babies and stuff like that as well. And Ayla and the side come home from school and stuff like that. She got to attend to them. They go to Muhammad's Academy. She got to make sure their homework is done. She got to make sure they get bathed at night and get set up for the next morning and stuff. They got to be at school at 8 o'clock. Sometimes they get up by 6:30 somewhere, get dressed, be out here by 7 something on the way. And she come back and jump on the computer and stuff like that, work. Rent got to be paid. You understand? You got to have clothes, food, all that type of stuff. So this is, I do it out of love for my people. That's what Allah has compelled me to do. You understand? But it takes resources. But I ever get the resources I need, I can show you what to do better than I can tell you. It says in the wake of the black urban uprising of the 1960s, America became preoccupied with the threatening figure of young black males as well as rebellion and social chaos. It shook them up in the 60s and in the 70s. Man, America got shook up. Yeah, I'm not talking about that marching that Al Sharpton them talking about. I ain't talking about that marching that Dr. King them was doing. You understand? I'm talking about these young soldiers that got out here and shook America up. And the stuff went up in smoke. And when the night belonged to the soldiers. I got a little bit of this in my book. It's coming out. It's Cleveland working on it for me now. You understand? Putting it together. This is all true. It says, the U.S. government planned a massive program of psychiatric intervention into the inner cities, identifying 100,000 inner city children as young as 2 or 3, even as young as 4 months, may be selected a biomedical social control of the inner city black males through manipulation of serotonin levels and functions through drugs and diet control. Diet control have deliberately made inner city males violent over sex, targeting black adolescents. The control of the black male's mind and behavior through drugs, Prozac, depressant, and all that old type of stuff. It said the phenomenal rise of black sissies in the inner city, emphasis control of the black male mind, criminalizing black boys from the crib to the womb. Remember they called us predators, our black babies. Remember Joe Biden? And one can't even remember his name now. You understand? A lot got him though. Trying to find this last little piece. I'm gonna let you go. But I had something to deal with our youth that I want to throw out there at you so you know how to deal with your children a little bit more, a little bit better. Because our children, it says the psychological problems that plague most youth, such as the dynamics of friendship, child-adult relations, and the place of a child in society. Children go through all of these things in their mind. Some of y'all don't understand what they're going through. You be saying, well, do as I say, and that's it. But you was young too, but you forget. Let me read that back. Psychological problems that plague most youth. This is what children be going through in their mind. You got to know how to catch it. Teach them on it. Such as the dynamics of friendships, trying to make friends. That's why you hear some children go to school, get bullied or made fun of, or don't make friends easy. Have child-adult relationships because parents want to continue to dominate. And the place of a child in society. Children try to learn their place in society. In other words, all the problems that lead youth into what? The state of rebellion at a certain age against adults and society that comes with adolescence. You try to figure it out. By the time of puberty, when youth feel a need to what? To establish their power. That's when your son get a little bass in their voice, and they ain't jumping like they used to. Now, when you start talking to your daughter, she done reached puberty now. She stand a little bit more strong, look you dead in the eye a little bit. You can tell a girl, you better get to moving or I'll be done knock you out or something to that effect. You understand what I'm saying? But you don't know what's going on. You dig? You just want to say, do as I say. It said against adults and society that comes with adolescence. By the time of puberty, when youth feel a need to establish their power and position as members of what? Society or the community. They trying to establish themselves now. They want to change in the behavior of their parents. Parents don't know how to make the change. A lot of parents, especially when they got boys, all they do is go hooping and hollering. Boy, they ain't no attention to all that shit. So I get that garbage when I want to. I understand what I'm saying. Oh, mama ain't doing them hollering. And them little whippers and that, I ain't taking all the whippers no more. And this, that, and another. You understand what I'm saying? Girls reach their puberty. And you know, they start standing in the mirror and taking another set of clothes when they leave out the house, changing clothes and stuff. Shit, they trying to get with Bobby over there, across the street somewhere, down the street at the corner somewhere, at the restaurant, go to the show or something like that. You understand? Now, you remember in your mind all the stuff you used to do. That's why you be on your child so hard. But you got to sit down and talk to them like. It's a teachable moment. You got to talk to them and tell them why you do certain things and why you trying to protect them. You know, they're going to get hard-headed and rebellious because they trying to do what? Establish their position, their power. They trying to stand their ground. Shit, they feel they grown now. They expect if you ain't doing what you telling them, doing the thing you tell them not to do and you do it. Look, when the youth have lost respect for the wisdom of his teachers and parents and other adults, when they feel their time has come. That's what you're going through, parents. That's what you're going through, mothers, in the home with your children. You understand? You just don't know how to handle them. I got some more in here, but I ain't gonna go long because I know Cleveland been working all day. You understand? And but you know, PopKeys want to come back and throw that at you because I like to drop the keys on you that you can use to help establish better family relations in the home because we get our family together. That's our power base. That's how we can circumvent all of this. There's so much that we can do with our families. Then we start developing communities. You understand? And we ain't got to worry about this devil. When they crash, we got our food, we got our clothing and our shelter. Be like the Amish. They got 300 families in some locations. Each household is worth at least 87 to 90,000. Each household generated $27 to $35 million amongst themselves. You understand what I'm saying? Black folks. Then they ain't letting them put all them damn vaccines and put all them shots at birth because none of my kids got that damn crap. Dealing with autism and all this and talking about they what that stuff they be getting the little boys in school when they can't sit still and stuff. Oh, they miseducating them. But y'all go right along with it. You understand? Let them give them medication and stuff. Because you don't tired of running up to the damn school. You dig? Or you trying to get to work and don't want to be called at work about your child. You understand? And no. If we change the way we thinking, our thinking, the knowledge and thought is so important, we gonna end up on top. We gonna rule. That much I know for sure. And I was talking to Bayer and she was saying, you know, she said, you know, you sound like you just can't wait for the destruction. I said, you're right. I say, I pray for it. You understand? For the destruction of this world. Even though I know it's a probability, I might die along with it. So shall it be. As long as the other 20, 30, 40, 50 million people, our people can rise from the bottom to the top, then that's a righteous sacrifice. But I ain't planning on it. You understand what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. But yeah, that's what I want because a lot of us fear the destruction. We talk that big sick talk, but deep inside of it, we fear the destruction that fall on the white man because we can't see ourselves in the new world order. You understand? That's why I said in the beginning, we give up our power. because we cloak it in fear. No, black man, black woman, it's our time now. It's takeover time. From the bottom to the top, but we got to change the way we think. We got to develop that wisdom and knowledge and understanding amongst one another. See one another, speak to one another. That was the beauty of the Million Man March. I went. It was so beautiful and so powerful because every time we seen the black man and woman, Assalamu alaikum, brother. How you doing, brother? How you doing, sister? See, Maya Angelou, she was at the airport in Houston. We sat down and talked with her for a while. She was coming to D.C. too, though. You dig what I'm saying? I think she spoke that day. I'm not for sure. And but it was so powerful to see the unified unity of the black nation. And white people just sitting there so they like they wasn't, because they were there, but they weren't. They seen brothers sitting up, greeting one another, shaking one another's hand and stuff. You seen the black woman had the light in her eyes. She was so happy and pleased to see the black guy moving on a certain way. She knew it wasn't too long for the black man and woman come together and be a powerful force on the planet. You understand? White folks, they didn't know what the hell to think. Damn, these niggas getting together like this. They probably hitting the telephone with Billy Bob. I don't know. These niggas are getting it together. You understand? They had the snipers all up on the buildings around the place. They wouldn't let you see them, but we knew they was there. 2 million black men in peace and harmony. I understand? Brother was on drugs. Wasn't nobody smoking. Wasn't nobody drinking. Brother was abstaining. They needed that fix. But they was out there, some of them get sick, get thrown up and stuff. Brother, you all right? Understand what I'm saying? Boy, that was a piece of heaven right there. And we stayed at the same hotel that the minister was in. We took our security team with Dr. Bay and things of that nature. That was a touch, that was a glimpse into the future of the rise of the black man, woman, and child in America. We shall rule America. I look into this camera and say, white man, your time is up. You've had your time to test evil and see which one gonna come out on top. Now you have to go completely off our planet. We've been taught some of you last for 1,000 years, just a handful of you. Understand? But y'all, either you're gonna change or you're gonna die. I didn't say this. This is what Honorable Elijah Muhammad said. And he said, my people, my believers, don't have to fear, grieve, or worry. You understand? So I would say to you all, people that's in the islands with your children, they want to attack Islam, but you should be running and getting your children to these teachings. But I don't know how many Elijah Muhammad. This knowledge, has gotten our people off of drugs, for being whores and pimps and killers and murderers. Dope fiend got you off that bad food, clean you up, got your skin shining that light that sits within us, coming through again. Black man saying he God, I ain't a nigga. What we strive to do for self, respect our woman, love our children, raise our children to be righteous. Now all we got to do now is execute or bring in the righteous kingdom. We ain't even got to raise a finger to you, white man. Allah gonna hit you. You understand what I'm saying? But we have the right to defend ourselves if you dare attack us. You understand? We're gonna kill you. Because we have that right. But we don't have the right to aggress anyone, disrespect anyone. You understand? Obey any and all laws. This is what we've been taught to do. So I say to you, don't attack us. Because we're going to fight like hell to the death. And we ain't even got no weapon, but we got an army. We got the mighty, mighty FOI, but we got the Supreme Army. The one y'all call unidentified flying objects. They are soldiers in the sky. There's a large army. And you know that. You keep that information away from our people so they don't get boasters or more confidence and throw out fear. So our babies and our grandbabies can stand tall. You understand? The company of the righteous world had to deal with all these ignorant white people that's attacking us because of our color of our skin, like y'all own the planet. No, you stole the planet. The planet is ours. So as I say, I say Muhammad. I say Muhammad got the devil on the run. That's right. Run, devil, run. Up, 2, 3, 4. The devil got to go. Allahu Akbar. Thank you for Mr. Trump. Another head in the bucket. Good night, people. I forgot to mention my gold water tonight. You understand? But y'all can buy some of that sports moss. Whatever you need. We ain't got sweatsuits and all that type of stuff. You know, support. Then y'all want to hit that cash out tonight, it would be a good help to PopKeys because I'm on a mission. I'm on the takeover. I ain't on none of that other stuff. I'm on a straight takeover, rounding up the men and women I know. We sit down, put it together, put things in motion. These are the men that need to be messed with. Talk about anything, all the integration, the hell with all that. Assalamu alaikum. Good night and thank you all for tuning in. Much love, much blessing. Take care of one another, help one another out. You young soldiers, help your mothers, help your fathers. Show love and respect. You understand? One day you're going to rule. Prepare yourself. Allahu Akbar.